Hey, welcome back everyone, Jay Barrino here at StarCraft Remastered. We're on the second mission of the Protoss campaign, The Stand. I forgot to hit the record button before we were in the menu. Here we go.
Entaro Tassadar, Executor. The survivors from Ire have made it safely through the gate. Yet, amidst the chaos of our retreat, we lost contact with Phoenix and Raynor. I fear that they may have been overrun by the Zerg.
Fear not, Artemis. Phoenix is as stalwart a warrior as I have ever known, and the Terran Raynor has proven himself to be highly resourceful in the past. I for one believe that they made it here safely, but while we wait for word from them, we must reconnoiter the surrounding area and find a suitable location for a more permanent settlement. Once we're situated, we can begin to search for the Dark Templar.
Okay, establish a base and find the Dark Templar. Great vernacular. Zeratul, reconnoiter. Let's go. Okay, so I'm not a huge fan of these types of missions where you start with no base. I'll be honest, it's not my cup of tea. So yeah, unfortunately, we got some work to do here, and it's really just going to be waiting around.
There are Zerg on Shakuras. They must have taken control of the warp gate on Ire.
Wouldn't it have been funny, though, if this mission was just establish a nexus, go find the Dark Templar, there are no enemies on the map. I think that'd be pretty funny. Okay, so a bunch of Hydralisks come out, spoilers, so we're just going to sit around and wait. I'm not even going to set up pylons, to be honest. We can do that after this finishes, because they build relatively quick. And we run the risk of the pylons being destroyed. I'd rather my Nexus take the hits. We can mine some minerals on these probes, at least so that they have them to return when it's time. But what we're going to have to do is basically retreat with our zealots and allow some reinforcements to come in and help us, and we shouldn't lose the Nexus in the meantime. It's really just, we want to make sure we keep these probes alive, so we're just going to sit and wait. Again, there's some other missions like this. I'm not a big fan of where you just start with literally nothing, because we're going to sit here for like 2 minutes doing nothing. I don't know. I guess I like the idea of when it's done, you get attacked. So there's a trigger there that's built in, but at the same time, I guess, you know, when you have a more powerful editor like in StarCraft 2, you could kind of circumvent this issue. But really, we're just going to be building up from scratch, and it's going to be fine. So here we go. We're almost done. We're going to watch the HP slowly tick up. I think there's Hydralisks. They come from pretty much all around, so we just have to pick a direction and just bolt with our zealots. And I'm probably just going to leave my probes and hope that they don't get destroyed. Okay. Excuse me? Maybe it's only after you build your first pylon. Now I'm suspecting that is the case. I'm going to build it very close to my Nexus. Okay, I didn't know that. So the trigger is your pylon. I wonder if you could build a pylon and not a Nexus. It might just be both. I don't know. It doesn't matter. We're just going to sit and wait, though. And we have stockpiled a few minerals while we've waited, which is fine. Again, I don't know why I'm so focused on not losing a lot in this initial attack. It really doesn't matter. We're going to get going very, very soon right after this. Okay, and there's the Unburrow. Let's pick a direction. We're going to run. We're going to run. We're going to let the Dark Templar handle this while we just run away. Okay, now turn and fight. Okay, very nice. And I don't think we lost any probes.
Glad I am to see that you've returned home after these many decades. But the strange guests that have followed you here seem ill-tempered. Well met, my brother. Indeed, these creatures known as the Zerg have no regard for the sanctity of life. Once we have secured this area, I shall tell you everything I know about them in council. I'm sure the matriarch will be eager to hear your tale as well.
They're so welcoming. They're so welcoming. All right, so let's get some more probes.
They are still alive and are fighting to retake the warp gate on Ire. We must secure the gate on this side without delay.
Indeed. Destroy the Zerg base. So the Zerg base is down here in the bottom middle of the map. There's an expansion to take that I probably just won't, to be honest. I guess we can go on and start clearing it out where there isn't detection. But for now, I'm mostly just focused on setting up my base. It's going to be time-consuming because, again, I don't know why the beginning of this map is the way it is, just having nothing. I think this is more, hey, remember Protoss? I think that's what this is supposed to be. It's just sort of like, hey, remember that wacky race that warps in stuff with probes, and you don't need the probes to keep building them? That's these guys. So we're gonna start you with nothing. Enjoy it. So anyway, let's we can wipe out some stuff here pretty easily. But yeah, the expansion is down here, but I'm not gonna bother with it. We need some more forces to go down there and take it, because there is a spore colony, I believe, so I don't really want to risk it, but just getting rid of that creep is fine for the future. And the Dark Templar will probably be enough to defend us for a while we wait, as we just sit and we get more probes. That's fine. I just spent all my money on probes. It doesn't matter. Now we've got a gateway, and I'll throw down a shield battery here as well. That probe was perfectly hidden behind that gateway. It frightened me a little bit. Okay, back up here. And we'll probably want to set up a couple cannons around the edges, too, in case Mutalisks swing in, and I do expect it. But for now, let's just mine, and you start with virtually no money, either. After botching that initial attack, am I right? Oh, my God. Jay Marino's you got to min-max better and save the HP on your Zealots early on. Are you crazy? What are you doing? These Dark Templar, though, are going to be really, really useful until after maybe the second attack. But by that time, hopefully we'll have some Dragoons up, and everything will be right with the worlds. I don't know what kind of upgrades we can get on this map. We might even be able to go as far as 333, which would be funny, but I would not doubt if we could, because, again, it's Brood War now, so the tech tree is basically unlocked. I know we can't get carriers, but that might be the only thing we can't get. Yeah, no Fleet Beacon, which means no... I think Fleet Beacon is required for Corsairs, or can you make Corsairs with no prereq? The Corsair upgrades are in the Fleet Beacon, so no Disruption Web, which is really all we're going to use them for in the campaign. I'm never going to be making a huge amount of Corsairs for anything else. Okay, so let's go ahead and send more probes on gas. 5 is probably more than enough. Might as well start some upgrades here. Spend that gas as it comes in. We can get a couple more Zealots eventually. I could go take that base. I don't think it's going to make much go very much quicker anyway. So we're just going to be sitting around here and macroing for a while. I guess we'll just sit around and, I don't know. It's pretty typical. I mean, we just played Eye of the Storm 2 maps ago, so it's kind of funny to be sitting around and being like, well, now we're going to make a cybernetics core. When before it was like, okay, we need to get things very, very quickly so we can tech to carriers and get some Archons out so we can push and destroy the Overmind. And now it's like, well, we have to destroy a small Zerg base and make contact with our friends who have been very nice to us since we've arrived. It's just, it's interesting. Granted, I think it was a full year between StarCraft and Brood War. Wasn't StarCraft 98 and Brood War was 99? So I understand the need for this mission, but when the games are bundled, I mean, they're not going to go back and change the maps. Also, we will not be making Reavers on this map, even though I'm able to. 100% not. There are also no Lurkers, so I'm pretty sure we can just get away with... not making observers either. We shouldn't need it, and I don't think there's anything that the Zerg have that... Yeah, other than Lurkers, I mean, stuff is burrowed, but it doesn't matter. It'll unburrow when we get close to it. Okay. Again, it looks like they tried to rush in with something, but we'll make a couple cannons here as well to support the Dark Templar, who are going to do the majority of the damage, and we'll just make a group of Zealots, Dragoons, and Dark Templar, and that's probably it, to be honest. I don't want to go much further than that. I could get some Archons, I guess. Not really necessary. Again, I just want to get a couple cannons here. Gotta make sure we don't block them. There we go. There's our 150. Alright, that's fine. And, yeah, sure, ground armor, not yet. There we go. Okay, well, now we just have to sit around. Again, I honestly find that this type of opening is just, it's just sort of bullshit. But again, I guess I understand why. Why. You know what? I said shit, my video's gonna get demonetized now. It's like a common joke on YouTube. The interesting thing is I haven't had any of my videos demonetized at all. So I'm not sure if it's just it's an algorithm that's evolving, or it just hasn't gotten to me yet. It's been a while, and most people talk about it as if it's all-encompassing, and clearly I curse or swear, whichever you prefer. I never used to say curse. I say swear, and when people say curse, it just sounds funny to me. It makes it sound more taboo. But yeah, it's like this whole thing on YouTube where you can get demonetized if you swear or curse too much. I mean, I streamed Doom on my channel. I've heard many other people talk about how that game specifically ended up getting demonetized just because there's violence and weapons in the thumbnails. And in the titles themselves, I guess like the first chapter or the first mission is called Rip and Tear, the first map. And I streamed it on YouTube Gaming and I uploaded the VOD and no problems. So I don't know. Obviously, mileage varies with this issue. I've gotten very few. I've gotten maybe 3, maybe 4 comments in my 4.5 years on this platform of people saying, "Hey, I'm watching this with my son. Can you please not swear?" And it's no. I mean, I don't go out of my way to emphasize my words with swearing. I don't just like F this, yada yada yada. You go on some channels and it's almost like people are trying to swear too much, or if that's just the way they talk, it just comes across as very unprofessional. When I'm being emphatical, it's just sort of my way of speaking when I'm in a casual environment, not at like work or something. And I don't know. I find it an interesting topic though. So I mean, my channel isn't marketed as being family friendly. It's up to you. It's just sort of what you see is what you get. But at the same time, I don't know. I just find it an interesting topic. Just kind of swearing in general. Like what is really happening when you're swearing? It's just, what's the difference between poop, crap, and shit? The words. It all means the same thing. But for some reason, saying shit is taboo. If a child in 1st grade yells poop in the middle of class, it's sort of funny. Like, they probably won't get in much. They'll get in trouble maybe for interrupting class, but it's not like they're gonna be. It's not gonna be like a thing. It's not gonna be a big deal. Whereas if a child yells shit in the middle of a 1st grade class, then it's suddenly like, well, your child, he's into all sorts of debauchery. Who's raising this kid? What are you doing? That kind of stuff. I don't know. It's just questionable to me. I'm not trying to start some deep conversation about the ethics of unprofessional language, but I think that really what happens when you say shit instead of poop is you're showing emotion. You're declaring a state of emotion around something, and I think that's like it. That's all it is. I mean, it's like we're deterring children from being mad about stuff, I suppose, because the only other time you curse is sort of when you're being funny again or being emphatical, which is you're trying to add emotion, you're trying to add some oomph to your language. And there's a lot of folks on YouTube that they swear a lot, and it's just not, I don't know, it just comes across as sort of hammy, unprofessional, and lame. So that's why it's like, if it's not part of natural speech and it's just every other word, it just sounds like you're going out of your way, and it sounds super lame. And if that's just the way you talk, it's just, I don't know, it does not come across as particularly likable. I think it's something that it'd be a good skill to work on to not. Oh, by the way, it looks like we can get maybe at least +2, maybe +3. So we're gonna be going for ground armor here next. As we just sit here and we get more and more units. I'm not gonna take that extra base. I think that'd be wasteful. But yeah, anyway, I'm not trying to like put down people who curse a lot, because clearly there's times in my videos when again, it's when you get emotional and I'm in a casual environment, then I'm going to swear more, but it goes over the top with kids, and I think that appeals more to maybe the teenage variety, which is fine. But I just find it an interesting topic, because YouTube, they're trying to create parity with advertisers by I mean, they sort of have to cave here, because YouTube, Google, whatever, is always in conflict with advertisers and how much money they can kind of grab from them. And finally, advertisers have found a way to assert their authority by saying, you know what, we're not going to support your platform if this stuff is said. And to be honest, that's their choice. I mean, it's their money. It's not really censorship. It's a private platform. And it's not like a violation of free speech. In case people don't know, and surprisingly, it should be common sense, but it's not. Common sense apparently is not very common. In what situations is it a violation of the First Amendment? And if the government is oppressing you based on what you're saying, then it's violation of free speech. Otherwise, it is not. It is not. I did not hit her. I did not. I did not swear in YouTube. I did not. But anyway, I don't know. It's just the amount of people that talk about like freedom of speech. It's almost embarrassing when you hear that argument. But I'm not arguing automatically in favor of the YouTube machine. But it sadly really has nothing to do with the creators. It's just a constant underlying battle to maintain parity between YouTube and advertisers. And again, advertisers I feel like have finally found a way to kind of assert their dominance a little bit, finally, after years of, I think, having the terms dictated to them by Google. And this is kind of their way in. And YouTube is is constantly villainized. But it's a private platform. They're going to do what they have to maintain income, to keep the servers running. I mean, it's not cheap to keep infrastructure for the amount of video data that's going through this site every day. It's astronomical, the amount of money it would take to constantly keep kit on the floor and maintained and refreshed in order to host this kind of data. It's crazy to think about. But anyway, what I'm saying is, number one, I don't care whether I can or cannot. All right, there's the warp kit. We can't destroy it. I feel like it'd be funny if we did, but we cannot. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm just gonna keep doing me. I'm not gonna be changing anything up. I'm just gonna be myself. And again, I don't think that it really has. I don't have too much harsh language, if you will. It's here and there every so often, maybe more than often in certain cases, but for the most part, not that much. And I haven't gotten anything demonetized, but if I did, it would not change. It wouldn't change anything on the channel. Not that I don't feel like I need to be reminding people of that. I'm just letting you know that I don't. It just doesn't matter to me. I don't know. It's just such a silly thing. But at the same time, I understand. I don't rely on YouTube for income, and some people do, and some people have been relying on it for a long time. I think that's a different topic on the volatility of the platform and of being an amateur video hoster. That's probably not the right word, because YouTube is technically hosting the videos, but it's very volatile, and I think it's kind of silly to make that choice. Okay, this is unfortunate. Let's just run, and we'll let those things go into our cannons instead. But yeah, there's some volatility there. I would never give up a full-time job for YouTube, even if I had the. I've talked about this before, but I just think that's a mistake, because something like this happens. The ad-apocalypse, as it's been dubbed, which is hilarious to me, but something like that happens, and then you are just shit out of luck, and there's nothing you can do about it. So it just seems like a poor thing to put your faith into. It'd be smart to take some sort of training for anything. It doesn't necessarily have to be like coding or something. It could be just anything, any sort of technical job. And when I say technical job, I mean even like plumbing, some sort of, hands-on work like that, because that's really in demand, at least in North America right now. You can make a lot of money doing construction or plumbing or maintenance work or stuff like that. You can make a good amount of money because it's in demand, and you can read up and get some, I don't know what sort of certifications are needed, but that's absolutely worth your time, I think, if you're relying on YouTube or anything online for income like this. You're entirely relying on advertisements. It's a risky business. It's a risky business. Well, let's back up here and link up. We don't want to get too far ahead, but we've basically won. But yeah, I won't be changing anything on my channel, but I haven't gotten anything demonetized, and I don't know. I've been thinking of all these conspiracy theories on why or why not that might be happening. Because I was thinking, where are all these coming from? There must have been just sort of hanging out around the map. These poor dragoons. Run! Right, because I actually stream on YouTube Gaming, and it's sort of a fledgling service right now. They're about a year behind Twitch in terms of features. They're just now adding this paid subscription feature and yada yada yada. So I find it very interesting, and I feel like maybe it's because I actually use their streaming service. They're more lenient on me. I don't think that's actually true, but I think it would be funny if it was. That's all I'm saying. It might. No one can tell me it's not. All we know is, hey, they demonetize you for swearing, and they demonetize you for violence, and I have had no problems. I mean, I've had music issues, but that's kind of an ongoing problem with playing custom campaigns with custom music in them. I don't know, this is a weird tangent, just because I said bullshit about...
Executor, my crew and I will remain here on Ire and shut the gate down on this side. It's the only way to make sure that the Zerg won't send more reinforcements to Shakuras.
You will be hopelessly outnumbered. And once the gate is shut down, there will be no one to save you should you be overrun.
Yeah, well, I'm a man of action. What can I say?
I shall remain with Raider as well, Executor. My duty is to Ire after all.
Farewell, then, brave warriors. We will send through all the troops we can spare.
Thanks. You kids just remember to play nice from now on, okay? Wish us luck.
So yeah, we won't go on a 10 to 15 minute long tangent because I said bullshit 10 to 15 minutes ago. I think it'd be cool if there was a campaign that detailed Rainer's and Phoenix's struggles on Ire while they were there in between when we see them next in Queen of Blades. I think that could be really... Actually, no, we see them before that. We see them in Iron Fist. That could be pretty cool. I don't know. Something like that might already exist. If it does, let me know. I think there was an in-progress campaign by Cacho for StarCraft 2 that was supposed to be like... I think it was supposed to be a co-op campaign. It was created a long time ago. I don't know if there was anything actually made for it. But that would be neat. I don't know, maybe something exists for StarCraft 1 and I'm just not aware of it. Some folks probably have way more info than me. I'd love to hear it. I think that could be really cool. All right, this has been Jay Barino. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye now.